So can you explain non-duality? What you mean by non-duality?
See, like the mind and no mind. Okay. See, like, let's see. Here we are like, you want some water? You're okay.
Okay, thank you.
See, like we are in the sound sleep. Do we drink water?
No.
Like, okay, the senses are there, but it the mind can imagine, imagination. In the imagination is thirsty, is hungry, but that is like a different subtle body of the dream body, which can imagine. So within the body, that's why they represent seven bodies: subtle body, gross body, physical body, vital body, mental body, intellectual body, spiritual body. And that is the layer after layer after layer, uh, like onion.
Mm-hmm.
So in the onion, you remove one layer, another layer, third layer, fourth. What happened then?
Eventually, you get to the final one where there's no more layer. It's the very heart.
So do you find the onion in the onion?
No.
Even you repeat apart layer by layer. So what happen is all things are coming from nothingness. Like you cut cut the seed and is germinating the seed. There is a space, and that little germ is protected, is there.
Mm-hmm.
So the space is not there. That germination germ will germinating into a new is not can survive. So that's what is the subtle body. You can't see it like in the dream you are dreaming thirst,
Mm-hmm.
and this is different body, subtle body. Means imaginary body. And also in the dream, suppose if you are hungry and somebody give you the food, do you feel you were fed? Yeah, imaginary food you feel. So the when you are talk of non-duality is no two. No two means you are one with the oneness, with the being, with the wholeness is the oneness, not the two. So the two ness, the name and form separate you from the oneness and beingness. Like now the conflict going on, US, USSR, Ukraine, So they have one one understanding, the other one is not aligned with that understanding. So it becomes the two, like agreement and disagreement, between the two. But in the sound sleep, which is beyond the dream, there is no wanting. There is no fighting, there is no quarrel, there is no conflict, because all the senses align, you call it the mind, and into the no mind together, wanting and non wanting all together into oneness, because there is no wanting there. And that is the nothingness. And it is such a ecstasy without the things, without you becoming and owning, you are totally contently content. But can you live that state 24/7 into the life? Yes, that's what the people call the sages, the saints. They appear as moving, they appear as doing things, but the ego is not there. Not even the people called servant of gods, but they are is happening through their body mind, like at the time of the freedom and war in even Indian independence, there were two kind of saintly saints. One was operating the truth and non-violence, Mahatma Gandhi, and he was trying to affirm the unjustification, while the great yogi or Ramana Maharishi teaching through existence, existence of being is your real nature, that the real nature of oneness without the two, non-duality. And there is such a joy, there is such a ecstasy that no things and no drugs, no chemical can bring that pleasure close to that. This word pleasure is not giving anything, it is just only forgetfulness, it's only entanglements. You are only seeking and wanting because of ignorance. Otherwise, baby is ecstatic without wanting 100 wants. But this 100 wants, I want this, I want this, I want that, that is the befooling of the consumerization loaded in your head by your own head, not knowing that they are entering in your own head. What time and how, you don't even know. Such a miracle. So then the wanting become a transform into a desire, and desire become into anxiety, anxiety into restless, and then people kill each other for that desire. It becomes so heavy on their head. That's how people do crimes, because intensified desire overtake them as a ghost, as a ghost inside their head. It's a illusory illusion. If we observe the quality of attention, the wars are the translated illusion of wanting. So, like, see, in the jungle or in the forest, do the plants they fight?
No.
Uh, for their survival is enough. And then comes the animals. They also can appear as fighting or quarrel, but that is just only a show. They very align with the wholeness. So wholeness is not only wisdom, it's also the luxury of all luxury, because the human being is the ultimate of all pleasures and desires, and because of watch a dead body. Dead body actually is at peace. It's not that it does not want anything. Even wanting it does not want. It has been linear with the oneness. Like the doll made up of the ocean has dissolved in the ocean. Now that doll which was walking to measure the ocean has become the ocean. So it has lost its personality, name and form, but it has gained the wholeness and oneness. That's how the word ultimate bliss, ultimate pleasure is of all pleasures and all luxury is the being is cannot be even explained with the words. Like you cannot practice death is not in the time background. Either you are in it or you are out of it. The time is no longer in that state of being. Because time is illusory. That's why it's also called the word Kal Chakra. Kal Chakra means it's a move, it's a wheel, it's a wheel. All the planets move, moving out of what? Out of fear. But in the so-called mini death is like in the sound sleep, but in the physical death, all the elements, earth, water, fire, air, where the body came from, again dissolved into the original state of elements. then there is no more this constant seeking, which is another state of dream. But the question comes, is it possible to live that state of being 24/7? Yeah, you say?
I mean, it's never been possible for me to live that way. I don't know.
No, we are talking, yeah, of the human.
24/7.
Yeah,
It would be nice.
see, it has no, in the child state, is that state there, uh, one with the oneness, with the wholeness. As long as you have pure innocence, pure heart, then the quality of life is different. It may have things or may not have so many things, but it is contently content, you know. But somehow we have this thinking that the things give us some joy,
Hmm.
things. But a child don't have the things, the car, houses, and it's totally fulfilled. You see even the birds outside, the crows, they don't have things or own so many things, but they can at least sing in the morning. So it is the qualitative difference means that not being fragmented and corrupted by the mind, mind desires, mind wants, is nothing wrong with to have needful things, and they come automatically when your mind is free, but mind get totally consumed and programmed heavily. I want you to have the satsang, so you say, go ahead, you say. Yeah, that way, because other people can look at different angles.
I feel it difficult to comment because I'm so guilty of not being the baby-like mind. I'm much more guilty of having it constant, all kinds of
No,
activity.
like what happened is that we asked for it, knowing or unknowingly. Whatever wants and desire inside your head is not the same as in his head as in others. So naturally, you put the program, you put the files in your head by your own choosing. Everyone, knowing or unknowing. And the law of karma operates the same way. The law of karma means as you sow, so shall you reap. I mean, the truth cannot be simpler than the itself. For example, the mirror we see does not give award and reward. It is as it is. Now, human beings have befooled themselves by giving award and reward and good and bad. It cut the into pieces. But we see it's a linear. Life is linear. Life is here now. You cannot. It cannot be thought about. You cannot think about and put grade level. It is so spontaneous. That's why one said that you cannot meet the same person again, because each moment you are being renewed. You are a new person means your body mind changing each hour, each minute. It's happening. So you are completely new and renewed. But we are so much in the head, we don't see how it is being renewed and changed. Have you seen yourself growing up? No, but it is happening.
Yeah, you
Your
realize.
hair is growing, your nails are growing without you know it or you don't know it. So is the ecstasy and celebration is dancing each in time and beyond time. Why don't we celebrate the celebration which is happening? Because we are so caught up into this uh, machine of thinking machine is heavy duty. And that's what one poet put in two lines. What is this life? Full of care, not a minute to look and stare. He's saying the same thing, non-duality and oneness. He's saying, what is this life full of care? Life means life is happening in the presence, here now. All that is happening. Air, sound coming, all that is happening. What is this life? Full of care, not a minute to look and stare. Full of care means this machine uh, moving. For example, you go in the movie theater, the reel is moving, and then it throws the light through the light. The the is moving. The mind is moving. But where do you get the real peace?
Yeah, where?
Yeah,
How?
real peace when you are in the sound sleep. The the reel is not moving.
Hmm.
It is at halt.
So what about in the waking state?
In the waking state, the same movie which was moving in the dream, it is with the open eyes. That's all. But there is a third state which is sound sleep. Sound sleep means where there is no moving, no waves, like the ocean and the waves. There is no waves. It's still calm. So it is not different. It's not different. is only try to understand it is like you are in the freeway, you are in the center toward the edge, and you are not in the freeway. You are witnessing the whole freeway. That's all the tiny, tiny difference and no difference. So it is like the ocean and the waves are not too different. It appears as different. It's not different. So it is like, it's very simple. Like you go to watch, buy a car. You have the money, you are buying, you are almost not attracted. You are calculating, you are thinking about it, but have not bought it. When do you buy it? When you write the check, then you buy it, or when you have decided your mind, you have decided, you have almost bought it. Because you have decided, you before you looked at the car, then you touch it, you test drive, and you almost decided. So then at that time the car has already went in your pocket and wrote the check. The car wrote the check. You have already impressed by the car, and car has become yours. It is mine. It has become yours. So is the drama of the things and the world. World, you see, is the sensations, five sensations, coming from the mind through the senses. So in the dream also, somebody hit your car. Your big body is not, but your mental body is affected. And in the dream also, you are acting and reacting. You probably take a gun and after the one who, because the things become part of you. That's how. Do you have the cars and houses, or cars and houses having you? You are consumed by the consumerization. First you were given name and form, then you start belonging things, but there is no mine and thine without the me, and there is no me unless there is name and form. And name and form come from the nameless and the formless. So the really real is the one with the oneness, which is non-duality, no two. So all that's what in the other words uh, is the same, whether Islam or that there is uh, nothing but God and only the God, means the other name of the oneness or infinity or other words, or the light, because the light is the subtle form of the things, or the eternal spirit. So what you have to say, Dr. Lenny?
We're talking about things that extend beyond time, time limits of our conscious state here, which is difficult for us to conceptualize because we live in a world of time constraints. We have daylight and we have nighttime, and we live our lives according to schedules. And we have a finite existence that we know about. When we're born, we die. And so it's hard to get beyond that concept of time limitations and the concept of multiple happenings at one time. So how do we get ourselves into a state where our mind will be open to?
See, it gives the idea of how, but actually what happened is that you are it. You are it means uh, already, already you are blessed. The bliss is blissful and blessed one. But the question comes, how you can be so stupid? Not you, I'm talking, I'm saying how one, the nature of the mind is like that. It wants to be separate. That's what is the whole illusion of God and devil comes appear. It wants to be separate and become more powerful than God. So that's what is the in illusion it appear like that. Appear like that means like the machine, and it becomes definitely because what you see with the eyes and five senses in the material world. The material world is the computer, and computer is just a shadow. Shadow is not being, it is the shadow of the being. And definitely it gives you pleasure, it gives you easement. Easement means you go in the car, you are in this, you go what direction, what it does. And that is what will go more and more progress into uh, the shadow. Shadow means what you can desire, what you can imagine to desire. Already it will come to you. What means what? Suppose you are lying down on the bed and you don't want that light or that door she closed. She just think and it will close. She will think and the light will go off. Those things are possible because of the thought operating, thought, thinking, thought. But when you are in the in the sound sleep or when you are dead, you don't want to door open or close or light. Those things are not there, not needed. The same way, three forms of God. The one that's God, destroyer. Destroyer means the thought will bubble up bigger, 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 and the computer will kill itself. Artificial intelligence will kill itself. Means what? It will appear as old and new, but there is nothing old and new. It appears the shadow bigger and smaller. Nothing changes. It appears like that. Okay. That's what is the nature of the thinking and mind, or new model. That is God, destroyer. So bomb will come, and finally the egos will fight, and boom, that's the end of the Kali Yuga. Destroyer, the Shiva. Then generative Brahma, operative Vishnu. Vishnu means what? Means the world growing more all the time. It does not stop. Like, have you imagined a ocean without waves? It's the nature of the on the top surface that the waves means appear as dancing. So is the food, vegetarian, vegan, organic, and all those things. Of course, they have the qualitative means support. Uh, all the colors, 7 colors, Vibgyor, they come from where? Colorless. All the different flowers, all the colors, they come from sap, SAP sap, colorless, nameless. The light, all things coming from the light appear in the light, dissolve in the light. The master or the mastery is being in reality, because it is beyond time, and yet the time appears in it as a dance. So the life become not a work, you become playful play. You are at peace, and you watch and observe it as a movie. That's how you enjoy the movie. Why you enjoy the movie when there is murder and hate? Because that's part of the movie. In the movie, there are a villain and thief and opposite. That is just the painting. Painting means there are many different colors. If you put only white color, what kind of painting? Only you enjoy when you lose the imbalance. This is clean if you want to. Yeah, so that is the balance. In the food, balance means you are balanced. You need lemon in the food. You mean sweet. As long as they are balanced, you have tasty food. You have pepper, salt, tasty food. But when you put a whole spoon of salt, what would happen?
Imbalance. Too salty.
So, and the choice is there in the gross food, gross body, in the material level. But hunger comes and happens, that is beyond choice. You don't choose, oh, you will put 1 liter of hunger and 2. So is the life. See, this wisdom of a poet describe the whole things in two lines. What is this life full of care, not a minute to look and stare? He is trying to indicate time and beyond time. So that means when you are in love, the time disappears. And when you are in the mind and head, the time appears. And when you are in worried mind, the time appears 10 times bigger. You are get totally circled by the worries. That's what I was wondering, that how the people can be so foolish that cannot learn that war or the fighting is worse than the plant kingdom, animal kingdom, but that goes on, that continues, not 5,000 years, 50,000 years, or 50 million years. But when you observe, you watch that it is the nature of reflection. Reflection means like you go in the sun, it become bigger and smaller, automatic. When the real changes, the shadow changes. So the real does not fight because there is no two. Like that, they fight? They're five. Do they fight? They don't need to fight. The same way, don't change the world, but the wake up to what is unchangeable, non changeable, which is not, even if you want to change, is not changeable. Like, can you change your death? Can you? It only, you cannot say, wait 4 hours, I am not ready. So, the same way, easiness is the world of bliss. Easiness, you cannot avoid and avoid from it. God is not something to believe in. You dive into it, you taste it, or you miss it. It's all the appearance. One country become more powerful, another become less, then another more, then less, more and less, always dancing. The same is the planetary changes. But oneness has no fear because it does not need any fear. In the dream state, there are fears and what do you call the bad dream? What do they call?
Nightmares?
Nightmare. But in the sound sleep, there is no nightmares. Cannot be. Like in the dead body, does not need no nightmares because it is already original. Night and day are just the two sides of the same coin. Because they appear as night and day. In one country there is night, in the other one is the day.